G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. I have this huge Juniper recumbens or strata, not 100% sure which one, to work on for a client of mine. He's very keen for me to have a go at this tree. To most people this looks beautiful as it is. It's an absolute massive tree. Pot is too big for it, that we understand, but it's actually really fantastic. Tall, really elegant tree, beautiful shari along the trunk, a few gins here and there, some really nice pad development already. So you're wondering, well, how can we improve this guy? It's huge. Its size is fantastic. Really, I don't have no choice in terms of the front, because what it is it's where the shari is. The back, it's not that interesting. You'll know. I'll talk about this middle pole in a minute. It's a decent sized tree, probably a metre tall, not a bit more. So I've been looking at this tree for a while, trying to study it. The front has to be in around here somewhere. The Nabari is best from about in bad here, but the Nabari is the best there. You can see the full width of it. However, you lose the trunk, beauty of the trunk if you do that. Slightly this way, slightly where around in here is probably the best. Again, good size Nabari, the beautiful movement of this trunk, and clear taper look. You can go a little bit further this way, which still is also quite good, quite interesting. So but you lose a lot of the Nabari with this root pointing towards you a bit too much. One thing I had to do initially is this whole tree was leaning right back. So I've just put this metal pole in here and staked it to the trunk to push it back up. So the trunk was leaning this way, put a metal pole to make it go straighter. So I could go a bit more straighter, but for now that's about as much as I can get to it. But when we repot this tree, we'll do it. So what are you thinking? I love the size, I love its height. Height's really good. It just needs the pad development, and that's probably where I come in with my wiring. This whole tree will be wide, fully wide. I'd like to create a bit more gin, but I'm not sure where it's going to be. The feature of this tree is this branch, pretty much. The strongest element of the tree is this branch. So always start with the first branch, always. I hope you can hear me over the rain, but at least I'm undercover, you can hear me nice and clear. But really, my work's going to start here, cleaning up this branch, wiring it all out, and let's see how it looks. I need to create the layers in this branch. It really needs a bit of I don't like one big pad. I'm trying to get away from the one big pad. I want to have that little bit of more structured layering and levels, which you're used to me doing. So this huge Juniper is going to be restyled. These branches here, there's two of them really long ones. I'm going to have to do something with them to create a bit more interest. I don't like this gap in here, so I might bring it closer. Things like that I'm going to throw around ideas. Hardest bit is the top. Problem is, there's pretty much no branching. These two branches, and there's pretty much no branching at all in here until you get to the top, and all those branches are pulled down. So I don't think the tree is going to be as bushy, of course, in the end. At the top, it will be much more thinned out, but we're going to have to figure out all the layering that we want to create. It's going to be a very tiered looking tree, full all around, nicely proportioned. I want a rounded canopy, I don't want too much pointy canopy, a rounded canopy. So we'll see how we can work with the apex eventually. This is going to be a long process of wiring and getting this tree ready. So I won't do a time lapse, it's just too long, but I'll show you some key features when I'm doing the tree. But I'll work on this branch first, and we'll have a look what it looks like once I'm done. Alright, so you can see that branch that I've just fully wired. Give it a little spin around. Don't mind that, it's just wire. So you can see the different layers now that I've created on this tree. Front's still in there somewhere. I haven't really worked out exactly where we want it, but it's very different. Before it was a huge cloud of just foliage. Now it's well defined. Now the pads can grow properly and create nice more compact pads rather than one huge one. So in this way, I've got different layers starting from this bottom one down here, next one up here, one over here, one at that side, one up there, and one towards the back at there, giving you some depth. So from one branch, that's still one branch there that forked out into multiple. One key branch that I've been able to do those layers and that definition. I use the guy wire just to pull down this branch a little bit, just bring it further down. Might even go a little bit more, but it's now the lowest branch is about to there, which is much nicer position. Remember, it was a bit higher up before. Now it's a much nicer lower position towards the trunk. So about the same. So about there. So those pads, very important. They will fill out, but you've got the structure now to the right structure to get the air, the light, everything in to make them nice and full in the right spots. Now that we set the first main branch, we'll work on this side and see where that ends up, and that might start to dictate our front of the tree, and then we can actually work out how we're going to compact everything else further up. So again, I'm just going to wire, clean up, wire, and that's really all I'm doing. Alright everyone, just a quick update where I'm at. You can see now this side has pretty much been set. Looking at the camera, it could be come down a little bit more, might drop it a little bit more. I've also done this one in here. Can you see that one in there? Just filling in a nice little gap in there. The next tricky one is this big heavy branch that I've got in here. Now I've wired it up to get it out of the way so I can have a look at the tree, but I'm going to have to put this one into here, into this gap here. So that's why I tried to wire it out, because I had to wire all these out. So try and get that in there and put it in there and create a nice big pad in here that will kind of hide a little bit of this part of the trunk, which isn't the best. It's a little bit reverse tapered up here. So it's probably going to be perfectly situated right in here, creating a nice nice pad. Not sure which one, not sure which branch, but I'll do a couple of little time lapses here and there just to show you me working on that on the tree, and how the pads all start to come together. But excuse the mess, but I always put down a towel so I don't make a huge mess on the pot. So I've picked the front where you can just see these wires. Can you see that wire? So I picked the front around there. So continually working on the tree, tweaking it. Just noticed this one, I might drop it a little bit more, but yeah, it's starting to come along well. Alright, so we're progressing pretty well through the tree. You would have seen the time lapse I tried to do on this area of the tree. I was able to bend this branch quite a bit and then guy wired it as well to bring it closer in and hiding that kind of long straight trunk part. So I hope you saw that. I also wired a branch at the back. You probably just can see it in there, just towards the back. So coming along well. It's just hard to spin around such a big tree. There's the probably can see the back branch now that I've just put in place in there. So you can see how we're creating the space now for all the other branches and how we can drop them down. So that's the next part. Now we're getting to the tricky part of the tree. Pretty much all branches from this side about here have been done. There's not much branching up the next, I don't know, few bit. All the branching really comes from this top part. So this is the tricky part. This is the hard bit where we've got to figure out which branches we're going to hold on to and start wiring those. The ones that we're not sure of, we're going to leave for now, and then, well, we might keep them all. What I'm trying to do is find space for all the branching. So my next probably target is, I've got this really big heavy branch. There's this huge gap in here, and I've got this nice big heavy branch, double branched here, that I can actually just easily drop into this spot. So that's probably my next one. I'm going to keep that, but it comes right out from right up here in the top. So we'll have to keep it. I mean, if I don't keep it, I'll lose anything on this side, and I really want to hold on to this branch. It's quite good. quite nice. Nothing really else can fit in this area, and if I get rid of that, there's going to be huge space in here, and it won't look good. I need something in this area of the tree, even though it's kind of to the side, to the back. If I don't have anything here, there'll be a huge hollow and it won't look right, especially with all this nice foliage around here. So I need to fill in this big gap around here. So that's the next. I'm definitely going to keep that branch. So that's the thing. Definitely keeping that. I will wire that. Now I'll look for one other one so I can anchor that branch to, and then I'll start the wiring process. All right. So let me go away and do that one. Same process. Wire, clean, trim, wire, position. Similar to this. Similar to the branching. All right, everyone. Hope you can see the amount of progress that's going on. Done a whole heap of wiring all around the side. Pretty much all the back's done. I just don't want to spin it just yet. What I'm really up to is now, I did this really important branch here in the front and towards this end. So I really had to set this area to know what I'm going to do with the apex and what I'm going to do with this really heavy branch on the right side. So I'm going to work on this right side for now. Now the apex is a real tricky one because I've left this nice long branch here that I might want to twist and bring as a new apex, because right up here it's very fine. I'm not sure I'm going to use it 100%, so I'm still in two minds where I'm going to be at. I think if I end up wiring this, I'm going to have a little bit of a gap in here, so maybe this branch can be moved into that area. So I've got a couple of options that I'm trying to leave open, but really is a matter of wiring. There's lots of if I give the branches a tap, you can see all the foliage from when I trim it up higher, all dropping down and landing on the branches. So, but I think it's coming along really well. I had to readjust the front of the tree a little bit in terms of the trunk. This bar now is more to this side. The tree kept falling backwards too much. Now I've had to, I think I want it even more forward eventually, but I really can't get that angle perfectly right now, but we'll get there. Yeah, so try and give it a little spin for you guys so you can see how it's going. You can see all the back area is all nicely done. That's the back, and this branch I haven't touched yet. Bring it back round. The pot will change. The owner's got a new pot ready picked out, so this pot is way too big for this tree, but it's doing a good job right now. Alright, so I'm going to go away and first work on this branch, and then we'll look at how we're going to create the top. Okay. Alright everyone, so after a bit of a marathon effort trying to wire this whole tree, I've completed the styling of it. The pole, remember this pole was to just hold the tree up in its actual upright position that I like. I think it has to go a little bit more, but it is good where it is right now. I will tweak a little bit here and there, but nothing much more. It's pretty much, it is what it is. It's pretty cool tree. You can see the top's been heavily reduced, which is good. I'll give it a little spin so you can see the whole dimensions. There you go. Pretty close to where I originally put the front. Pretty clear. Probably one of the changes I made was this branch here. I had it guy wired in a bit too close. It was in there and didn't look right, so I've let it go back and just wired it and put it in this position. There was a heavy branch up here that I was talking about. I was going to bring around and bring it into the front, but I didn't like the look, so I've made a nice little just normal branching, cascading kind of to fill out this spot. I've used a lot of the smaller foliage up here to create the apex. There are some little bits here that are just needing to grow a little bit, but you couldn't even tell. It's just nice full canopy. This is what I mean by full canopy. It looks nice and rounded, and it actually looks old. That's what you want to try and achieve, especially when you're designing trees. You can see all the padding, all the levels. I was surprised that there's actually not much. There's no guy wire anymore on the tree, which is really good. I was able to bend a lot with the wire, bend all the branches into place. That's a good thing about junipers, I guess, is they're very flexible, and you can get them into the right spot. This tree now goes back to the owner. Hope he likes it. He'll be seeing this tree first time. Now I haven't shown him the result yet, so hopefully when he sees it he'll like it. Come a long way. I really like it. It's come up really good. Now it's just for the owner. It's just a matter of maintenance. You know, a lot of this stuff will grow out. you got to cut back at the right time of year. But I'll give him a hand, telling him when to do that and so on. But really nice. Eventually, new pot. This pot is just way too big for it. It's a little bit too deep and a little bit hexagonal. It would be nicer to see some sort of rounded edges a bit more on this tree. Maybe an oval or something like that would be really nice. We'll see what the owner comes up with. I'm sure it will look great. So looking really good. I can't really say much more. I really enjoyed it. Let me know if you've got any questions. But yeah, if you're in Melbourne, I do this kind of work. So if you hit me up if you want this kind of work on your trees. Nice promotion there. Alright guys, anyway, stay tuned for more videos and we'll be back soon. Take care, bye.